So we're talking about how many interviews you got with ApplyPass, and at a certain point, it was probably too many. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Uh, it's hard to say,
To
isn't
manage.
it? It was too many.
Yeah.
I was working
But
hard on
roughly,
it.
to get an idea, like roughly how many in a week on average, seems like it was.
I would say 4, 5, 6
Right. Nice.
per week.
Nice. Okay.
I think.
So then, like,
Sorry, I'll just say over the period with ApplyPass, I did about 60 interviews.
over how long of a period, roughly?
So 4 months.
Nice.
So,
Hey, this is Kevin Landucci with ApplyPass. So at some point you tried ApplyPass, and
Yeah.
what was that experience like for you in terms of like how many interviews were you getting before this
Yeah.
service, and then how
Yeah.
many did you end up getting after?
So I had found how many interviews, on and off for 4 years I'd been applying. When I had started applying, I felt, wow, I'm going to get a job anytime now because I'm getting so many interview requests. And when I say so many, it'd be 1 or 2 a week that would come through. Right. And some of them seemed really interesting. It seemed really frustrating to me. None of them panned out. So there was that period early on in my job search, towards the end of my job search, that wasn't happening anymore. I was getting fewer and fewer requests for interviews. So, 1 every 2 or 3 weeks, and it not going anywhere as well as it hadn't been. So then with this new program that I got involved with, once the interviews started coming in, the process had been pretty intense. I had to work pretty hard at this program, which took a lot of time. Then when I started getting interviews rolling in, that was very motivating, thinking I was getting, my calendar was beginning to jostle with the interviews in a week, which felt great. It also felt a bit grueling. I think it
was too many. Would you say? So we're talking about how many interviews you got with ApplyPass, and at a certain point, it was probably too many. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. It's hard to say,
to manage.
It was too many.
Yeah.
I was working hard on it.
To get an idea, like roughly how many in a week on average, seems like it was.
I would say 4, 5, 6.
Right. Nice.
Per week.
Nice. Okay.
I think.
So then,
sorry, I'll just say over the period with ApplyPass, I did about 60 interviews.
Over how long of a period, roughly?
So 4 months.
Nice.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
So let's say like all that time, right? Because you were applying for years, applying. And then when the applying was done for you, what did you end up choosing to do with your time that you weren't spending on applying?
I would say that I was in a full-time work search mode. So I would say I was spending a lot of time in preparation for job interviews. The interviews that were coming up. I was building my skills where I saw there were potential weaknesses that I'd learned from previous interviews. So I certainly felt the whole experience, I learned so much and it was very much guided by the interview experience. I was sort of learning these skills. So that was good because I think prior to this program, I was not sure what Udemy course to do or what, problems to try to solve. But from those interviews where I thought, I didn't answer that very well, I went and researched them, and lo and behold, 2 interviews later, the same question comes up, and it's like, well, let me tell you. So
That's all I got, dude. I'm going to turn off the camera, Russell. Good job.